Alright everybody, welcome back. We've talked a little bit about basics, movement, and Stryker's normals, and now I'd like to talk about Stryker's special moves. Again, I'm going to be mentioning frame data. Again, thank you to Dr. Doug. Now, Stryker's most important special move is gunshot. Hold it like this by holding the button. You can just get it out there. It's 26 frames to get on screen, which is pretty slow for a projectile. However, it's instant to track. There is no time where the gunshot isn't hitting it once the actual sound effect occurs. It has a great hitbox. Allow me to show here. It can be used as an anti-air at all sorts of ranges. If an opponent likes to jump toward you, it can actually go into a full combo off anti-air. But we'll talk about that a little more when we get to the anti-air section. It's just a really good move overall. It is pretty much the most important move Stryker has. Also, normals can be cancelled into it, which is really important because you can eat the recovery off his normals and get a mix-up. In fact, right now let's take a look at Stryker's main mix-up off the gunshot held. So, there's a few options you have after doing it. This one is range dependent, so I'm going to show it to you here. You can dash up and throw. But if you hit with just the tip of your foot, it's going to miss. So you want to make sure you're a little closer when you do that, and then you can actually get the throw afterwards. It's not perfect. You do have to be sort of fast on that. What's cool, though, is you can actually just dash and hit the throw afterwards, and just hit X, because you're still holding the, or you can just hit 3 because you're still holding 1 after the gunshot. So as you can see, that's a pretty good thing. Another good one afterwards is to do dash jump. You dash cancel immediately into the jump, and then you can get a full combo off that, which is really good for Stryker. And also, if the jump doesn't hit, you can always do the mix-up off the jumping punch. Here's the thing, they can anti-air that, at least off of the standing 4, so you do want to be a little bit careful. The final mix-up you can do is to, well, there's 2 others. You can let go of the gunshot and just hit them with it. That's a good one if they get antsy and they like to try an anti-air or do other things afterwards. And then finally, you can dash up into a low. You can do either sweep at longer range, or you can do back 3-2. Either way, you get a lot of good stuff off of the gunshot mix-up. So you really do want to become familiar with doing that and just having it be second nature and continuing to mix them up afterwards. Next up, after gunshot, we have the baton trip. The baton trip is sort of useful. You can follow things like standing 4 with it. It gets armor when it's EX'd, which is good. It's probably one of his better wake-ups because of that. It is one of his 2 wake-up moves. I don't use it a whole lot, to be totally honest. One nice thing is that the start of the baton trip looks sort of like his dash. So again, you can follow things where you normally dash with it, and your opponent may fall for it because it's a little faster out there than some of his other moves. You can also, when you're trying to get out of pressure, do baton trips off of things like that, or like off of the down 1. They aren't combos. It doesn't combo off of anything, but it does come out in such a way that your opponent might not notice it. Next up is his roll. His roll is really good. I'm not 100% certain if it's safe, but I'm pretty sure it's even on block. I haven't seen anyone punish it ever. I've tried to punish it myself and haven't seen things that do it. Things like spin might, but it's good. The nice thing about roll is that roll switches sides with your opponent. It's good as a combo ender. There's a lot of different combos that you can end with roll. You can do things like Kick to roll as an anti-air. It's just a good move in general, and because it switches sides with your opponent, if you are in the corner, you should end a combo with it, because Stryker in the corner gets a lot, or Stryker with his opponent in the corner gets a lot scarier. Roll is also a wake-up move, and it goes under a lot of projectiles. Unfortunately, low projectiles like Cabal's Grind and Kung Lo's Low Hat will hit it, Liu Kang's low projectile, so you do want to be a little careful. It is completely projectile immune during some of the middle frames, so you can get through them, and the EX version has a hit of armor and does 16% damage, so it will beat low projectiles as well as a lot of other things on Wake Up. Finally, we have his grenade tosses, high and low. Now, at first his grenade tosses don't seem amazing, but there are some important things to know. One, Stryker's gunshot can be ducked. So, grenade toss gives you a solution at certain ranges to a ducking attack. Also, it's 9% damage, which is a fair bit of damage for a projectile. It's not quite Kano's knife, but it's something. Now, it is important to note, though, that grenade tosses do miss a ducking opponent at mid-screen, so you have to make sure you're at least this sort of distance to be able to hit them well. Another thing is the arcs of grenade tosses make them really good full-screen anti-airs. Especially the high grenade toss, it completely makes jumping at you unrealistic. So by mixing up with gunshot, which also will catch opponents out of the air, you can definitely discourage any jumping. And on a jump, they knock down, which gives you a little bit more options. You're going to be able to follow it with a gunshot that they'll have to block. The EX version of grenade toss is just going to toss both grenades at once, and it doesn't matter what button you use. But the EX version can be sort of useful. I don't use it very often, but I've ended rounds with it when I thought the opponent might jump and I wasn't sure the results would work. And you can get both to hit for quite a bit of damage. So those are Stryker's main specials. His last special is, of course, his X-Ray, which I'm going to go ahead and give myself full super meter, and we'll take a look at that. His X-Ray is alright. There's some bad things about it right now, but they should be fixed in the patch in 2 weeks. For one thing, it's unsafe on hit against certain wake-ups. So, if you're going to hit with it and it's not going to kill the opponent, just keep that in mind. It has armor. It has a surprisingly decent hitbox. The flashlight goes further than you think. As you can see, I'm going to pop it when he jumps again, and that's a little bit outside the range, but like here, should hit. So, as you can see, the flashlight has decent range. Because of that, it can combo in a few different weird positions, which we're going to look at in a minute in the combo section. Naked, it does 38% damage, which is quite a bit, and since it has armor, it's good just for that. It's actually one of Stryker's best wake-ups. People aren't scared of Stryker on wake-up, because you can actually throw him out of his wake-up moves. So being able to pop that and have the armor eat whatever your opponent's doing can be good. Although, of course, it's completely unsafe. This isn't like subs or some of the other characters' X-rays. You will eat a lot of damage if they block it.